Hello, this topic is about the changes and claims in the construction project. The objectives of this topic. So, this topic will discuss the types of changes that occur on construction projects, what causes changes to occur, and how changes can be handled, documented, and resolved. So, the objectives of this topic are to introduce the following: the types of changes, the terms used in the discussion of changes, the change order process, the process of moving from an unresolved change request to a claim, typical forms that might be used in the change order process, and the idea and importance of time extension as well as costs of change orders. The changes in the construction project will occur in every construction project. These changes can be small, such as clarification to drawings or specifications, or quite large, dramatically affecting the scope of a project. So changes are a normal part of the construction process, as many factors must be considered during its duration. The owner, architect, and contractor must be aware of each change process and be equipped to deal with these changes professionally, objectively, and quickly. The contractor's field personnel must understand the process and be able to assess each situation accurately and be able to work with the owner and architect regarding each change. So the changes can be made at no cost and with no change in duration. Perhaps clarifying a construction detail or an installation method. Changes also can result in greater or lesser costs and require an addition or a reduction in contract time. A change order is a settlement for including a change in the contract. Thus, a change order normally costs the owner more than the work that was included in the original contract document. Changes can occur for many reasons. These reasons may include the owner-directed change of scope. So in this case, extra work is added to or deducted from the project, and it is clearly a change of scope to the contract. Owners will occasionally add or deduct portions of the work that qualify as a change in scope. A change in the scope of the work is when the amount of work is changed from that contained in the contract as indicated by the contract documents. A change order is almost always authorized for this kind of change, although the cost of the change will influence the owner's decision to accept it. Then there is the constructive or consequential changes. In the constructive change, the architect or the owner's representative causes the contractor to perform work outside the contract. This change could occur from a simple defective specification to a directed change in the contractor's method of accomplishing the work at hand. So construction document errors and omissions can fall into this category. Whereas the consequential change occurs as a consequence of the preceding two changes. It is the impact cost that occurs on the other work that is being accomplished. Sometimes delays, resequencing, and work of other work and rework of other work or the cost of extended overhead will occur. So this type of change is generally the hardest to price, understand, and explain and sell to the owner and architect on the project. Then the changes are also due to the differing site conditions. This also can be an area of a contract change. This change usually applies to differing subsurface conditions that are indicated by the contract documents or are available from the geotechnical reports. Occasionally, actual conditions will not appear as assumed by the designer and as indicated in the construction documents. So, for instance, many times in renovation projects, the designer does not have all of the previous construction details and plans of the original project that existed prior to the redesign. Unknown or latent conditions can appear after the start of the construction, which can cause a change to the contract. Next is the job site discovery of hazardous materials. So this often causes work to stop. Compliance with the codes must be reviewed and adhered to when handling hazardous materials for removal, storing, or dumping. Uh, in the next figure, this is the example of a typical clause in the general conditions to the contract regarding the discovery of hazardous materials. So in this case, you can see that uh, uh, the clause is something like this. The owner shall be responsible for any asbestos, PCBs, petroleum, hazardous waste, or radioactive material uncovered or revealed at the site, which was not shown or indicated in the contract documents to within the scope of the work, and which may present a substantial danger to persons or property exposed thereto in connection with the work at the site. The owner will not be responsible for any such material brought to the site by the contractor, subcontractor, supplier, or anyone else for whom the contractor is responsible. So in this case, the contractor would notify the owner of any discovery of hazardous materials as described in the specification. The owner then needs to decide on the best way of handling the material. A change order might be written to the contractor to remedy the problem. If the owner chooses the option to hire an outside contractor as allowed in the specification, the original contractor may request a change order for the costs and time associated with the necessary delay or for remediation work. Okay, so next type of reason is the code revisions. Okay, so changes can occur as a result of outside agencies such as the local building authority reviewing the project after the construction contract has been awarded. If the contract has been signed before the final plan check by the inspection agencies, a change orders must be written to modify the change of scope caused by the review. The construction documents are often reviewed prior to pricing the project by contractors, but occasionally some reviews are made subsequent to issuance of the construction contract. Okay. Vendor coordination. Okay. This is also the reason for changes. Additional problems can occur near the end of the project when the contractor is requested to coordinate with vendors that supply and install outside equipment. So often initial drawing and submittal coordination are not adequate to finalize the installation and operation of the equipment. So most of this equipment being discussed is noted as NIC or not in contract or OFCI, owner furnished contractor installed. So additional installations such as mechanical piping might be necessary to facilitate the equipment installation. And next type of reason for the changes is the product substitution. So occasionally products specified are not available as market coordination, as market conditions shift. New products are developed, product lines change, and vendors and manufacturers drop one product for another. So sometimes the new product completely fills the requirements specified by the original item, but often it will take longer to obtain, cost more, and require a longer installation time. So which can require changes in time and or money, as they can be possible change of scope. So these were the few reasons for the changes in the construction project. So in fact, change order is also one of the cause for the change in the construction projects. So the change orders are the change of scope of the addition or the addition of extra work, which is generally a tangible type of change. And owners can basically see the extra materials being added to the project and understand that they are paying for and receiving something additional. The extra work will require a change in the document or a change in the design. As a project progresses, owners' needs may change, and they may want to change or add to the scope of the project. Construction contracts contain provisions allowing owners to make changes to the work. A contract clause providing owners with this might be worded as shown in this next figure. So in this case, let's see this contract clause. So without invalidating the agreement and without notice to any surety, the owner may at any time or from time to time order additions, deletions, or revisions in the work. These will be authorized by a written field order and or to a change order issued by the architect. So it should be noted that the change is authorized by a written notice and not verbal communication. So both parties are provided with a clear definition of the work being required and who authorized the work. It is extremely important that the contractor know uh, who can authorize a change order. So this is an important issue that should be clarified at the pre-construction meeting. So some contracts include unit prices for work that may be encountered during the project. For instance, the construction document may request a unit price for solid rock removal beyond a specific quantity. Assume that the specification calls for 100 cubic yards of solid rock removal to be included within the contract price and requests a unit price for the material beyond the 100 cubic yards. The specification would describe how the solid rock is to be measured by bank cubic yards or loose cubic yards. The amount of rock removal over 100 cubic yards would be priced by the stipulated amount per cubic yard and incorporated in a change order. So in a unit price contract where the quantities are specified, compensation for variances with the specified quantities may be available. So this type of contract clause can allow adjustment for quantity variance in a unit price contract. So let's see this type of clause. So changes in the work, allowable quantity of variation. So in the event of an increase or decrease in bid item quantity of a unit price contract, the total amount of work actually done or materials or equipment furnished will be paid for according to the amount according to the unit price established for such work under the contract documents. So wherever such unit price has been established, provided that an adjustment in the contract price may be made for changes which result in an increase or decrease in excess of 25% of the estimated quantity of any unit price bid item of work. Okay, I will continue this lecture in the next video clip.